Well, is it what any of you guys expected? It's certainly not what I expected. So here it is. This is my new to me, 2020 Ram 3500 1-ton dually flatbed. So I'm sure probably at least a few of you guys saw my comments in my other videos where I was saying that I was getting an F350 single rear wheel long bed for sure. I was dead set on getting that truck. I liked my last truck so much I wanted to just get the same truck with a little bit more tow capacity and a little bit more bedroom. Those trucks are just a little bit scarce. Looking around, I wasn't finding many options. The options that I was finding seemed really overpriced. I ended up driving that Cummins long bed that my dad bought to just kind of have something to drive in the meantime. And I ended up liking that truck so much, I was driving it home from the gym one day last week, and I just decided I'm going to do a quick search and see what kind of Cummins are out there. And I put in the 1-ton long bed. I wanted black. I only really like black trucks. There's some of those newer colors of trucks that I really like. The really new trucks, some of those grays and like light blues and stuff are really cool, but black is really all that I was interested in. And started scrolling through, and then I saw this one, and I have always had this little dream in the back of my head of having a 1-ton dually flatbed. I just didn't know if I would ever actually pursue it, because it's a little bit overkill. Do I tow heavy enough to need a dually? No, never, so far. I don't even know if we own a trailer right now that can support the weight that would actually require a dually. But I have no doubt that I'm going to see benefits in the stability of the dually, and I've never been one to shy away from overkill. I definitely don't mind driving a dually. I think dualies are super cool, and I like I'm gonna enjoy the peace of mind of knowing that the truck can handle way more than what I'm ever gonna have behind it. I had my F250 kind of at its limit a couple of times, and that's a little bit unnerving. You know, it makes you wish you had something more stable. And another thing is the payload capacity of this truck is insane compared to what I've been driving. The airbags in the rear, plus just the regular 1-ton suspension. But pretty much as soon as I saw this truck listed, I thought, well, now may finally be the time to pursue it, because it was a great price too. And for anyone that's curious, the settlement is settled with insurance. It took care of this truck. That's all that matters. So, like I said, great price on this truck. It's in pretty good shape. It's not in amazing shape. It's got some body damage. You can tell this truck, I'm assuming it was a farm truck. The dealership I got it from was in Texas, just a little bit west of Dallas. And it was farmland everywhere around there. So I have almost no doubt that this truck came off of a ranch or a farm. It's got the gooseneck ball in the bed. You can tell it's pulled a lot of trailers. It's got 87,000 miles on it, so it's not real used. And I really like this bumper. This is like the setup that I've always thought about. That was kind of what made me go ahead and pull the trigger on it, is like whenever I've fantasized in my head of owning a 1-ton, I've thought some kind of big bumper like a ranch hand, and this is a ranch hand bumper, and a flatbed with the under bed toolboxes. That's like the bed I've always thought of having. And black dually. It was just like, it's just the truck I've always thought of owning someday. The only thing I don't like about it is these tires. It's got the Venom Pro Terra Hunters, and those are super cheap, like Walmart tires. And it's unfortunate that they're brand new, so it's like I feel guilty replacing them. I'll drive on them for a little while, see how they perform, but I really don't have high hopes for these tires. They're already getting pretty loud. They were silent the whole drive back. I drove this truck home from Dallas day before yesterday, and they were silent that whole drive, but now that I've put a couple hundred miles on them, they're starting to whine pretty high pitch. So another thing that makes this truck extra super cool to me, and another thing that makes it more of what I've always thought of, is that this is a Laramie Longhorn with a flatbed, so it's not a work package. And I don't know enough about the specifics of how the Ram trucks come and stuff, but I don't really know for sure if they'll sell a cab chassis from the factory with the 1-ton on the Laramie configuration. Maybe they do, but I don't think that they do. So that means that this guy bought this truck as a pickup and took the bed off and put a flatbed on it, which is just another thing that makes it, I don't know, a little bit more of a desirable truck to me, that it's that higher trim level while still having the work bed on it. I've just always thought that's super cool. So it's got the Bradford built flatbed. As far as I know, this is like pretty much all of the attachments that you can get. It has the front and rear underbed toolbox on both sides and the flip down rails. So the setup that I think that I'm going to do for now is I'm keeping all my tie downs in that box. This box is all my recovery gear. So I got my toe strap, 2 soft shackles, 2 tree straps, and my hard shackle all in here. And then this one, I don't have anything in here right now, or actually I think I have my 4-way. I'm not gonna open that up because I have my 4-way in there and it was really hard to get it in there. I'm gonna make this hand tools, power tools, toe straps, recovery gear, hand tools. I went around around 1.5 times. So then these guardrails flip down, the side bed rails. I think since as it is right now, it just has these tie downs in here and there. I think I may add E-track across pretty much the whole way. Give myself some more tie down points, because right now all that I've got is that hole, the 4 on the corners, and then you can open this plate up and you could tie down to the safety chain hookups for the gooseneck. But I'd like to have some more tie downs back here and I really like E-track. So I'm thinking about adding some E-track here, and I may add some E-track across the front right here. Dirt bikes, coolers, camping equipment, all that kind of stuff that you're always putting back here, regular tools and boxes, material. I just would like to have a few more places to tie stuff down than just the 4 corners and these 2 spots up front. So I'll give you a more up close look at this bed. All the reviews I've seen on these Bradford beds says that they're super crazy tough. I was watching a video where a guy was talking about how he's ran his into trees and fence posts and gates, backed into poles and stuff, working on ranches. And all this steel is really heavy, and it can withstand, some abuse. Other side's just the same. I'm not super crazy about this filler deck. The pump has to be like straight flat in there, and I've filled this truck up twice already and had some issues. It doesn't really you can't really just like leave it. You gotta stand here and hold it, so that's a little bit annoying. The location of the def filler is really weird. I don't know why that's inside the bed, but is what it is, I guess. So inside of here is that gooseneck ball. You can tell it looks like he's pulled some trailers with that thing. And then it's got the 2 big safety chain hooks. Like I said, that'd be another spot you could tie down. We don't have a gooseneck trailer because all of our rack trucks at the shop can't pull a gooseneck anyway, so it doesn't really do us any good. We like to be able to at least have the backup of pulling our trailers with a rack truck if we have to. Who knows, someday. This opens us up to the possibility of getting a gooseneck and some heavier equipment. You can see someone has hit something with this at some point, and all it did was just kind of scratch the paint. This will give you an idea about the size of these boxes. They're not huge, but definitely very useful. Like I said, that'll be my hand tools one, that'll be my ratchet strap ones. I need to get a bag to keep my straps in. I've got them in there, but every time you open that door, they all try to fall out, so I'm not going to open that one up. I'll show you the inside of this one so you can get an idea how big. Like I said, not huge, but fits all that stuff just fine. And this is the worst body damage on it. It's got this really nice dent. Looks like more than a door ding to me. That was something pretty significant. Quick look at the inside. It's nice. It's nicer than my F-250 was on the inside. So really big screen. I'm not crazy about this tent brow because like this is like eye level for me. So when I'm looking out, I'm like looking halfway through the brow and then halfway through regular. I don't like it that much. The wood on the steering wheel is so nice, and the wood in the dash is really nice. I would never buy a truck like this brand new though. Jeez, salesman showed me the sticker price on this truck when it was brand new 4 years ago. Insane how much this truck's depreciated. 4 years later, this truck was for sale for almost half of what it was brand new. It's crazy. But that's how it goes. By a couple years old, you can save yourself tens of thousands of dollars on a truck like this. I'm excited to get a heavy trailer behind it and see how it performs. Obviously, it's going to perform way, way better than my F-250 ever did. It's got the high output, 6.7, and the lower gear ratio for towing. I think that they're 410s, but I really don't have all of it memorized yet. But that big payload capacity was the big thing for me, because our glass trailer, it's got a lot of space in front of the axle, so a lot of the weight from the trailer ends up on the tongue of the truck, and that was always a problem for my F-250 because it had a pretty low payload capacity compared to how much it could tow. But this truck is like almost 6,000 pound payload capacity. It's stiff. It's real stiff in the rear end when you're driving it. It'll buck pretty hard over bumps, but I don't care personally. I'll get used to it. The width and the length haven't been a problem for me at all. This truck turns really sharp actually for how big it is. You know, I got my little tiny front yard and I get around and turn around just fine down there. My small little area down there, I can pull up the driveway and pull up this way and back in next to my camper, next to the Nissan, and it does just fine. And it does have the receiver hitch on the front bumper. There's a good chance I could end up using that for something. I've seen a lot of guys put the dirt bike mounts on the front and they'll put their dirt bike up there. I know that restricts airflow to the engine, so I don't know. I really don't see why I would need to do that because I got the flatbed, but that is always an option. At least I know that I have that. But what's a lot more likely that I'll end up using that for is I may run the auxiliary power to the front and then get one of those winches that are on a hitch. That way I could have a winch that I keep and I could put either on the rear or the front. So that's it. There's the truck. I'm glad to be done with all this. I'm so tired of the insurance drama and the talking about the wreck and talking about trucks and looking for trucks and all that. I'm so glad that this is all just done for. Glad I've got a truck that I know can handle anything that I'm going to throw at it. Four-wheel drive works great. I've put it in four-wheel drive a couple of times, slipped it around. Drives good. Drove it home 6 hours from Dallas already. I like it a lot, and I'm really glad to have it. We can move on and get back to our regularly scheduled program working on the house. So thanks to everyone that stayed involved and was concerned. All the comments were really appreciated. I've got a lot of new people to the channel because of that wreck video. I got a lot of new subscribers from that one, so here it is for everyone that was wondering. So I'm glad with the way that it turned out, and thanks for everyone's support, and thanks for watching.